Good morning and welcome to the County Commissioners' Work Session for March 16th. We'll start with juvenile probation. Morning, Holly.
I'm here to seek the approval for the mowing agreement, the 2022 mowing agreement between our office and the Crawford County Conservation District. Community Service does mowing, cleanup, and trimming services out at the Woodcock Creek Nature Center and Steinberg Park. In exchange, they pay us a one-time fee for $4,500.
Any questions for Holly?
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Holly.
Jean will be presenting on behalf of the coroner.
The coroner is requesting to approve and send payment to the Erie County Coroner's Office in the amount of $7,000. This is the 2022 retainer fee for forensic pathologist services.
Okay. Thank you. Court administration. Good morning.
Morning.
We are requesting approval requesting to approve the repair cost for our Extron annotator in courtroom 1 in the amount of $1,625. The repair and work will be done by Horizon.
Okay. Questions? Thank you.
Thanks.
Public safety.
Morning, everybody.
Morning, Greg.
Morning.
Greg.
I'd like to scratch item A off the list for right now.
Okay.
Just asking for approval to pay $9,250 to ComSys for implementation of ASAP to PSAP technology in the 911 center. It's a wireless funds expense, no additional expenses to the county.
And Greg, this is the product that kind of aligns all the medical alarm information, correct?
Medical alarm, fire alarms, burglar alarms, everything instead of a phone call from those alarm companies, they'll actually populate right into our computer-aided dispatch system and just streamline that process.
Okay. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Assessment.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Morning, Joe.
Morning, Joe.
Joseph.
I think you have before you the refunds that we have here this morning. There's a misprint on A, requesting to approve the 2020 for 21 refund for the Movies at Meadville tax appeal, mutually stipulated from the parties. Court order of the 22 has been corrected for this year already, so there is no refund to be due for that. And the other refund would be 2020 for 2021 for Dieter Timothy. And you have all that, I believe, before you.
Okay. Any questions for Joe? Okay. Thank you, Joe.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Solid Waste Authority.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Morning, Brenda.
Morning, Brenda.
So I have a few things for you today. We're requesting for the appointment of members to the Solid Waste Advisory Committee. These folks will work with us about 6 weeks or so, 6 months or so, to finish up the Solid Waste Authority's plan. They are listed below. We have to, according to Act 101 of 1988, we have to represent these particular segments of the population. So we have a township representative, city environmental organization, so you'll see those listed there. So we're seeking their appointments. The landfill disposal capacity agreements, this is part of your county solid waste plan, and we have to agree that we have to find enough location for us to dispose of the amount of trash we estimate that the county will generate in 10 years. So these landfills have submitted their proposals and their agreements are here. They were submitted to you in December, and the box of them is right over there ready for your signature. Next up, every county, most counties have a county recycling coordinator. And so I've served in that capacity, and my board is asking that you appoint me to that position again. And then the final part of that is there's a reimbursement grant for that. So for last year, for 2021, I was your county recycling coordinator, and I have the documents here with Gina that need to be signed and taken care of for us to be able to apply for the grant that covers 50% of the approved expenses.
Okay. Any questions for Brenda? Thank you.
Thank you.
IT.
Morning, Tim. Morning, Tim. IT is here to request to ratify the change of the 22 to 24 Microsoft Enterprise Agreement with CDWG. The first year is what we covered in the other previous meeting, $111,320.11 for the first year, but there was a price difference and it was wrong, and they gave us a new price for year 23 and 24 at $115,000, $967.12.
Okay,
The next is to ratify a 5-year hardware support agreement for 3 critical switches. These are our fiber connection switches from the buildings with DES for a 5-year support agreement for $12,342. Next is to request the approval of a 4-year network support agreement with Dell for our storage area network switches. And that cost is $23,696.22 for the, we save money by getting a 4 years instead of annual. Fourth is the request the approval of the enterprise, or the Adobe Acrobat Enterprise 1-year software contract from CDWG for $2,971.82. This is basically, we're getting Adobe at a CCAP pricing for our, and this is all of them, like 18 copies of, so we're trying to get everybody onto this enterprise agreement, so we don't have a bunch of different costs every year. It's just gonna be one agreement. And lastly, request approval for a Dell desktop for ITS from Dell for $1,408.38. That's, we had a issue with Sam publishing something on our website, and his computer didn't have the graphics and processing ability it needed because it was an older machine, so we're just gonna update his computer at this time.
okay, any questions for Tim? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
The Care Center.
Good morning.
Morning,
Good
Tony.
morning.
I'd like to request to ratify the retainer invoice with LW Consulting for the 2021 cost report in the amount of $1,250 to be paid from professional services administrative.
Okay,
Request to ratify the contract with ACL for lab printer use at the facility.
okay,
Request to ratify the contract with Department of Veterans Affairs. It's for our 5-year contract.
okay, and Tanya, when Tanya applied to the VA, she explained the situation where when they give the opportunity to apply to get the reimbursement, we asked for the highest amount, and they gave us the highest amount. So apparently you can choose not the highest amount, which I find very strange.
Yeah.
But they
Good
are going
choice.
to
Good choice.
reimburse us at a higher rate. She was quite,
Yes.
I think she was quite surprised herself that didn't
I
come
know,
back.
I thought, well.
So we
what's
have
gonna
3
happen
veterans,
if
I think
just
they're
go
now,
for
right?
the-
We have 3
go for the
veterans.
max? Yeah.
All right, so they
Yeah.
offered the higher amount, so thank you
Yep.
for that.
Great.
Yep. Request to ratify the contract with Point Click Care, and this is for the lab service integration.
Okay,
Request to approve the contract with Windstream. This is for DSL service. It's a 2-year contract, and this would be for our learning center over at the old QLC building.
okay,
Okay. Request to approve to create 7 per diem temporary nurse aid positions, 3651-013 through 3615-019.
are these the people who are going to be entering into the next class, right? The class,
Yeah, so
Okay.
these are folks that we're bringing in and training, and then we're able to utilize them before the next class.
okay. In the first class, do we have the testing taken care of it yet, or
We only have one scheduled so far,
one scheduled so far? We're still working with
and
this
she's
date.
traveling to Philadelphia.
We're still working with this date to try and get the testing local, so,
Right.
so frustrating. Okay.
Yep,
Any questions for Tanya? Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Planning?
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning,
Morning,
Zachary.
First item this morning, we're seeking to pay for an invoice from Pashik MTR. This is for the City of Titusville's Diamond Street Park project. The invoice is for $1,413.62. It's paid for out of the City of Titusville's CDBG
Did they
program.
change the name of the project?
It used to be Day Park,
Okay,
now
that's
it's
what-
Diamond
okay.
Street Park.
It's the one
and
that's just down.
It's the
Where
one
they
that's
tore the
right
building
across
down. Okay,
from
thank you. Just-
their municipal building.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And this, you'll see a lot of invoices coming in this year for this. It is, part of the funding is tied to their COVID-19 CDBG funds that have to be spent by the end of this year, so they are on ramping up and hopefully moving to construction.
I've seen the plans. I think it'll be a nice addition to Tyson, so, yeah.
Next item, we're asking to pay an invoice from the Meadville Tribune. in the amount of $445 for bid advertisements for the East Branch Trail Knox and Kane engineering services. This is paid for out of the ARC grant program. We also have a request for payment for a Meadville Tribune invoice in the amount of $791.50 for City of Meadville's 2020 paving bid advertisement. And this is paid for out of the City of Meadville's 2020 CDBG program. We're also asking for reimbursement to CATA for their February 2022 Rural Family Workforce Transit Program. The amount of the reimbursement is $138.90. This is paid for out of the county CDBG program fiscal year 2019. We're seeking to pay 3 invoices from Stifler McGraw totaling $1,940. I'm sorry, that number is off. $19,400 and no. I'm sorry, I will have to correct that number for the regular meeting. I have the totals below. But this is for their January engineering services. The totals are for Steuben Township's fiscal year 2019 CDBG project, $6,388.30. Richmond Township's fiscal year 2018 CDBG project is $3,112. And then Beaver Township is fiscal year 2018 CDBG $9,931.68.
So those below are correct?
Yeah, the ones below are correct.
That's the actual correct amount.
The comma's in the wrong place.
Yeah, so it's 19.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking, but quick math in my head wasn't getting me there.
So 19,431.98 is correct?
19,431.98.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay.
That saves you having to.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
no problem. And then the last item we're seeking to reimburse, seeking to reimburse Townville Borough. They completed their Act 13 at-risk bridge project for West Fremont Road's Culvert number 1 replacement project. They're seeking $60,000, which would be paid for the county's Act 13 program. The total project cost was over $130,000.
Okay, thank you.
Just a question, just for clarification for me. Item C, so it is the fiscal year 2020 paving project?
Correct.
But they're
It is.
not bidding until 2 years later?
It is the fiscal year 2020 project, yes. The way that this works is we make the application in fiscal year 2020. We do not get the contract until spring or summer of 2021.
Right.
And then we have an environmental review process that we have to clear the project, which typically takes 6 months. Then they go to bidding and everything, which happens this following spring. So we are typically always 2 years off of CDBG projects.
Okay. It just seems odd to me that it's listed as a 2020 paving project. I get the fiscal year 2020 CDBG allocation year.
Yeah.
But it makes it sound like the paving was going to be done in 2020
2020.
or was from 2020, so.
Yeah.
All right.
It is a 2022 construction project.
Yeah.
Paid out of 2020 money.
That's what was,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
absolutely.
All right, thanks.
Any other questions?
No, oh, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, if you could either stick around or come up to the office after the meeting, got some information from the Trails meeting last night in Centerville
Sure,
for
absolutely.
you, so
All right,
whatever's better for your
not a
schedule.
problem. I'll stick around.
Okay.
Thank you.
County maintenance?
Morning, Mark.
Morning, Mark.
Hey, Mark?
Can pull up a chair? Looks like
Yeah,
you're
that's the
gonna be here
longest
for a
one I've
while.
got ever.
He's still beating you, so.
I might even have human services beat out. Nope. No, you got me beat.
Yeah, but yours looks longer.
Yeah, it does look long. Requesting to approve to pay the Eads Group for engineering services for bridge number 26, Glendon Road, for $8,848.50. This will be paid for with liquid fuels money. Requesting to approve to pay an invoice for February of 2022 for professional services from Brian Noah, the county project manager, for $2,133. Requesting to ratify an invoice from the courthouse remodeling project, the new assessment office, in the amount of $523.91. Requesting to ratify an invoice from the courthouse remodeling project, the registering quarters remodel, the amount of $2,275.94. Requesting to ratify an invoice from Home Depot for the new backup 911 center project at the fairgrounds in the amount of $122.21. Requesting to approve to pay an invoice for advertisement of a bid for the new ADA compliant ramp to the Meadville Tribune for $839.50. The county, working with Tower Engineering, has solicited bids for new conditioned air in the courthouse. After receiving those, I'm asking approval to hire Perry Construction to install the new HVAC system in the courthouse for $2,217,000.
Okay, and I think that it behooves us both to always talk a little bit about that. So the actual money, we're using a rescue plan money. It's not from the general fund. The project itself, we were very happy with the bid, and I think a lot of people have asked. It's this building. It's not the building next door, as commented earlier this week on someone on social media in regards to that. And the other part about this is it has UV and HEPA air filtration with it, and it also is going to help our electrical load because previously we had all air conditioning window units, and if we repopulate the second floor, we would need additional window units. So I'm very happy to support this. And I would ask either one of you if you had any other comments to talk about. But I thank you for all the work and Brian, and it was a very, very good process, I think, for this system.
Yeah,
So.
I would just add that bids were competitive. Pleased to be working again with Perry Construction. We've had other projects with them, and I felt that they met the county's needs very well. We're a very good firm to work with, so I'm looking forward to getting this project underway. I will say that there will be, and we will talk more about this as we go forward, there will be some pain in terms of disruption for offices in this building and unfortunately for patrons who come into the courthouse. We'll just deal with them as best we can. This project will not be done overnight, but we'll just all have to get through it. So we're going to ask for some patience on everyone's part and some understanding as this project gets underway.
It's kind of like the saying goes, a temporary inconvenience for a permanent improvement. And I'm thankful that we're able to do this. If it wasn't for the ARPA funds, this wouldn't be getting done because of the cost and what it would do to taxes. So this is something that's been talked about for a very long time, and this coming in where it did and being able to use ARPA funds and the work that maintenance crew has been doing for improving the various offices, that's all part of the plan that we wanted to do to improve this building once the judicial center is built, and we're doing it far less than some estimates when it was going to all be done by a general contractor. So I'm very pleased with how this is all working out.
Credit to Commissioner Wiederspan. This is credit. It was actually his idea when we first started this process, and I'm glad we saw it through. So I think it was a good use of the rescue plan dollars.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm also requesting to approve to pay the city of Meadville for the building permit for the new HVAC system in the courthouse that was just mentioned for $27,794.
Okay.
County also put out for bids new ADA compliant ramp in the front of the courthouse, also to install a new storefront with doors and replace exterior tile at the entranceway. I'm asking to approve hiring Gilday Construction to build that for $391,900 plus $135 per tile to be replaced at the front entrance.
And again, I think the project itself, we initially talked about the ramp. It's included the front entranceway and new storefront for us. Sheriff Powers is here. People can ask about one point of security entry, but we think that's very important, not to have multiple points of security. That project itself will allow easier access for our citizens to get here. And again, we use revenue replacement. Stephanie, we're correct, right, through ARPA. No general fund dollars, which I feel is really important. And I'm actually very excited about this because I can't tell you the number of people who have said to me, you know, it's difficult to walk up the steps, and currently through our back door and the situation we have, there's not the most convenient for people who are handicapped or with walkers. and I saw them struggle to get there. And we hope to move to the back parking lot one day. We put enough on Mark's plate, but I'm really excited about the ADA compliant ramp, and again, glad we have federal dollars to offset the cost for us. So.
Yeah, I would add that I'm thrilled to be working with Gilday Construction, a local company. They do great work, and I think that this ramp out front will serve the county and this courthouse for many, many years to come. So it'll be a nice project.
I have nothing else to add.
Oh, you just took the thunder out of the other one. So. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Human Services?
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Sue.
Morning, Sue.
Morning, Sue.
The first item I have is I'm requesting to approve the fiscal year 2021 MATP final allocation. The initial allocation was $956,248, and the final allocation is $653,199, which is based upon the fiscal year 2021 final reconciliation report. There's no county match on MATP funding. Next is a purchase requisition. I'm requesting to approve for a Dell laptop for our training supervisor. The battery on the current laptop is expanding and will eventually lead to the computer being inoperable. Total cost is $1,046.84. Cost to the county is $210.15. I'm requesting to approve a purchase requisition to Dell for 18 tablets and 7 laptops for CCHS, plus 3 laptops for the county. These are budgeted items. The total cost is $58,964.98. Cost to the county is $9,363.62.
You talked to Tim through the process too, the IT? Okay, thank you.
And the computers that you're replacing, the laptops, is there any useful life in them that, do you know that we can use for training or anything like that? Has Tim mentioned any of that?
I don't know that for a fact, but I'm
Okay.
sure that if they're usable, we would be using them too, so yes.
Okay. And I didn't know, I mean, sometimes like the vehicles, that items purchased through Human Services, if they go to another department, there may be a fee to that other department in order to use them.
Okay.
So I just didn't know if any of those would have, they may not be usable for your purposes, but
Right.
they may have some useful life for
Okay.
us, or if not, we'd have to pay to recycle them, so
All
I just
right,
wondered.
I'll check on that.
Okay, great, thank you.
Next, I'm requesting to approve a purchase requisition for Gabrielle Bonessa, who will be an SOC Trauma Conference keynote address speaker on 3/29/22. She's a comedian, mental health advocate, and motivational performer with lived experience. She uses humor to share her powerful story of mental health recovery, overcoming stigma, and growth for all ages. She also will be presenting a morning breakout session on embracing your differences as your superpowers. Total cost is $3,000, no cost to the county, paid for out of SOC funds.
Okay.
Next, I'm requesting to ratify payment to Leonard's Auto Service and Towing for repairs for vehicle number 4. The repairs included replacement of the water pump, thermostat housing, and serpentine belt. Total cost was $2,571.07. Cost to the county was $470.54.
And I would just identify to you that vehicle, and I talked about it too, but I personally endured the same repair at the same exact time, and it's a $98 part and 13 hours of labor. So that age and size, space of vehicle we have there, I think it's a Ford. That we should anticipate other ones. Those are the ones you want to move away from if you can. So, thank you.
Okay.
That's because of
Next.
the design of the vehicle.
Yeah, it's just the
not
water pump's
Leonard's
down
or
below
any other
everything,
shop.
and it's terrible. So.
Next, I'm requesting to ratify payment to Leonard's Auto Service and Towing for repairs for vehicle number 28. The repairs included the replacement of the transmission. Total cost was $3,149.13. Cost to the county of $576.33. Next, I'm requesting to approve for the Sprout Center for Emotional Growth and Development to provide a virtual infant mental health training to early childhood staff at the Meadville YMCA on May 9th, May 23rd, June 6th, and June 20th. The total cost of the training is $3,500. There is no cost to the county, and these will be paid for through HSBG funds designated for infant mental health training. Next, I'm requesting to approve for 4 community members to attend the Trauma-Informed Community Development Institute at Duquesne University from 6/12 to 6/18/2022. Teams from across the country attend and receive training in community trauma, community engagement, communication, leadership, and more to help their community members to be able to help themselves and their communities to be safe and healthy places to live and grow. This year's team is comprised of community members Carol Johns, Dr. Amendia Dixon, Maria Rosado Husband, and Pastor Sarah Roncolato. The Women's Services SOC Hope Meadville project in Meadville's 5th Ward is an example of an application of trauma-informed community development, which was developed by the county's first group to attend this training in 2018. Some examples of projects they have worked on thus far include a part-time community health coordinator, a neighborhood health survey, home improvement projects, after-school programs, food distribution, neighborhood cleanups, and educational programs. Price includes the training, all meals, lodging, and travel. The total cost is $5,429.16. There's no cost to the county, paid for out of SOC funds. And lastly, I have an amendment to the Summit School Incorporated DBA Summit Academy, requesting to approve the amendment. This amendment is adding the provider shelter program to the contract, as JP would like to be able to utilize the program. The shelter care program is a short-term program for boys ages 12 to 17 who need 1 to 30 days of trauma-informed shelter care. And I guess that wasn't my last one. My last one is a professional contract for the Center for Family Services, requesting to ratify the contract for the Center for Family Services to incorporate the second round of ERAP funding. The contract for the original Emergency Rental Assistance Program funding was $5,516,075.02 for January 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2021. This contract for ERAP 2 is for calendar year 2022 and totals $4,690,704.59.
Any questions for Sue? Or Mark repeating on amounts, I see myself.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
The finance.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Stephanie.
I have for your approval invoices totaling $98,714. The first is to the Oil Region Alliance. It's the 2022 ARPA grant for Scheide House in the amount of $50,000. It comes from Culture and Recreation grants. The second is to the Northwest PA NTMA. It's a 2022 ARPA grant for robobots in the amount of $28,000. It comes from the Economic Development grants. The third is for the Crawford County Historical Society. It's the 2022 budgeted allocation in the amount of $2,000 from the Culture and Recreation contributions line item. The fourth is to Crawford County Coalition on Housing Needs. It's their 2022 budgeted allocation in the amount of $17,000. It comes from our Homeless Assistance contribution line item. And finally, to Svets Energy Services, it's the second quarter 2022 payment, invoice number 31122, in the amount of $1,714 from our Buildings and Grounds Consulting Services. Next, I have for ratification invoices totaling $9,589.03. The first is to Siemens Industry Incorporated. It's for the Correctional Facility RTUs, progress billing number 1, invoice number 53302405546, in the amount of $8,629.03. It comes from ARPA Revenue Replacement Capital Purchases. The next is from Horizon Information Services, and this may need to be amended. It is for courtroom repair service, but I believe it is the same that was brought earlier. I have a different amount on mine. Kim had one for the Extron annotator. This is also for an annotator in courtroom 1. My total is $960. So I have to clarify as to whether it's the same or if it's a different annotator.
Okay. Any questions for Stephanie? Thank you. Commissioners?
I have a DEP notification from Northwest Hardwoods for an air quality permit application associated with the operation of a lumberyard located in Titusville, PA.
Okay, I will handle B and C. As we have stated in the past, we did a DCED study, a fire study and an EMS study. The fire study has been completed. The idea of creating a fire commission, obviously the word commission, it means to charge a group of people with finding solutions. We don't want the plan just to sit on a shelf and collect dust like other plans have done. So we've asked for people to serve on a fire commission and an EMS commission. The following people have offered to and accepted the chance to serve on the commission. We appreciate all their service. It will be an every other month meeting. It will really entail using that plan to find the solutions. Joe Lamy, the chief of the Titusville Fire Department. Phil Kuhn, who is the president of the Crawford County Firemen's Association. Joe Smock, a Meadville City fireman. Bob Weimer from the Greenwood Fire Department. Justin Sullivan from the Townville Fire Department. Bob McCartney from the Fowlefield Fire Department. Ryan Sikorsky from Cockerton Fire Department. Eric Costin from the East Mead Fire Department. Jim Pratt from the West Mead 2 Fire Department. Marianne Menino, the city manager of Meadville. Robbie Horvat, the Vernon Township Vernon Township manager, John Fuller from Vernon Central. John Tracy from the Client Lake Fire Department. Alan Clark from EMA. And one representative selected by our DPS director for the 911 Center. On the EMS side, and again, same thing, this plan is almost done. These folks are going to, again, be charged with the same thing, using those points of the plan to find some solutions. Neil Freitas, city manager of Titusville. Dave Basnack, director of Emergent Care. Bill Taylor from Townville Ambulance Service. Jason McPherson from Meadville Ambulance Service. Kurt Dennis, Greenwood Township Supervisor. Madeira Paraskis, Client Lake Ambulance Chief. Austin Bates, the Springboro Fire Department Chief. Krista Gear from Active Aging. Megan Mason from the Linesville Fire Department. Bill McClincy from EMCO West. Jody Greer from the Centerville Fire Department. And one representative from the 911 Center. We appreciate these folks, and hopefully we can find some solutions to work together with each other so those plans don't go to waste. Upcoming events, we have the full session next week, March 23rd, and then April 6th with your next work session. The courthouse is closed on April 15th for Good Friday. Any public comment? Any commissioner comments? Commissioner Wiederspan.
I have none today, sir.
Wow. You didn't want to say the park meeting was good?
I used them all up earlier.
Was the park meeting good? The meeting for the trail?
Yeah, it was very good. There was probably 15 or more people there.
Great.
Good discussion.
Great, thanks. Commissioner Soft?
Petitions were due yesterday for those offices in which candidates were allowed to circulate petitions. So the Voter Services Office is compiling everything. We'll work with Matthew to start putting together a ballot. However, that is all still on hold pending the court's decision on what to do with the state congressional districts. We have no word yet as to what they're going to decide or what they have decided. If they've decided something, they haven't told anybody. And as we continue to say, the longer it takes them to notify us so that potential candidates can start circulating their petitions for both those offices as well as the state political party offices, the more it jeopardizes having a primary election on May 17th, which is currently when it is scheduled. So, unfortunately, we're all still waiting.
Thank you. And I just want to reiterate that adding these two projects, the ventilation project and the ramp, along with the windows, is a $3 million investment in this building with the purpose of repopulating the second floor. And those things are all necessary, I think, for that. Please, if you have questions about that, reach out to one of the commissioners here. I think all three projects, as Chris said, might be a little painful to get through, but at the end, we're certainly going to have an improvement. With that being said, there's no other business. We will see you next week. All right.